And what's funny is, before we dive into like each of them, when I first saw them both, I kind of had a cheeks feeling about both of them. And I'll say this, both have grown on me faster than I'd like to admit.
One I don't hate, the other is just a debacle in my opinion. I'll give you a guess which one's which.
So let's start with the P is for Penguins.
Yes,
Pittsburgh
and
Penguins. Yeah. I know, but also God bless it. Like when I first saw it, I did the same thing. Oh, cheeks. Like just a giant P. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. And when I went to go make the stuff for today, I just kind of looked at it and I'm like, man, like we talk a lot on this pod about Pittsburgh and their colors. Like it's hard to miss with those colors.
Yes, for sure.
You hate to give any kind of credit to especially the Pens.
Right, for shit.
Like, I can give it to the Pirates because they've pretty much been the butt of the league in like most of my adult life.
For years. Right.
Or my entire adult life, most of my life.
Yeah, they don't have Andy Van Slyke anymore.
92 was probably the last time they were like relevant.
Yeah, dude.
But like, and I think that's what's saving this for me is it does give me like Pittsburgh Pirates vibes. Like I know it's the same color scheme, but like it's pretty simple look.
It's very simple.
And you hate again. I mean, it's just a giant P, and maybe you can do something else. But at the same time, so they're playing at Fenway this year.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So like when they play these outdoor games, they have to go like big.
Yes, because you got to make it visible for lots of people.
Right. Now, can you do maybe a penguin? Maybe that works, but a bright yellow P is suitable in this situation, I feel.
It is, and for that purpose, I agree with you. I get why the execution. I do. I'll say this. I like the utilization here of the cream.
Yeah.
I like that it's a cream and not a white. I will always be in favor of using cream over white in just about every circumstance, particularly as a base color for a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I'm not big on the usage of letters, though, man. And I think that's one of the things I like so much about hockey is that there's so much character to a hockey sweater. Even the ones we shit on that we don't like ourselves necessarily.
Right.
Every hockey sweater has some sort of character to it. There's effort put there. This looks, I think, to your point about the Pirates, and we've talked about this, baseball logos tend to just be letters, which is kind of lazy. That's kind of what I feel this is. That was my first reaction upon seeing this, was really a P. And I hate the Pens. I'm a Flyers fan.
Yeah.
But V says to me all the time when she's trying to, when she's doing the thing, it's a penguin playing hockey. It's so cute. Objectively, it is. I just can't get past the fact what it represents. But I don't know the city of Pittsburgh. I've never been there. But, man, there's not anything else you could put up here to represent the city. That's the thing. If this were like an homage to a font on a building, I could understand it. I would like to know at least, I don't know if there was a press release to, like with the City Connects. Here's why we did what we did. I'd like to know that. If I knew that, maybe I could understand a little bit more. But the P is kind of weird. It does very much give off Pirates vibes.
Yeah.
The two stripes, kind of weird, but I don't completely hate it. I love the cream, though. I love the cream.
I think the reason I think the two stripes is what makes just the letter acceptable to me. I think my worry would be if you do much else, it gets too busy too fast.
Right.
I mean, maybe you lose the stripes and you go with a giant penguin. Maybe that's acceptable. But I actually kind of like the stripes. And I think it's because it's just behind just a P.
Yeah, and we'll see, this is a tricky matchup too, because
same colors.
Exactly, dude. And that's where you get into, it's crucial to, because I mean, you have at these games, you have twice as many people as you do a traditional NHL game. And it's like, this is where the home and away colors come in so handy, but you still want to be able to have something, if you're sitting up in the bleeders, you want to be able to know what fucking player is touching the puck for your favorite team. So you have to make this shit bold and big for people to see it. So I get it. And it's that was my first thought, was it's a fucking P.
I think, I don't know, maybe doing this show has just softened me a little.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like absolute cheeks, I'm not going to run it down. Maybe this is just the bar being low, and and I'm like, okay, well, I don't hate it. So,
and this could just me being a salty Flyers fan that my team sucks ass this year and the Pens are decent. And so, I mean, by all means, let us know your thoughts in the comments, because I'll admit that it could be quasi-biased.
It is the Pirates.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense. It gave me that vibe.
I'm a little more in on it now.
Our thanks to sportslogos.net for their image popping up here.
Yes.
Grab that. So here's Boston's. And everything about this screams I should hate. Because I hate the bees. You don't have the spoked wheel. Like,
right.
Really, I don't like Boston. Like, everything about
Same.
this should be like, I'm out. But I'm not. I kind of like Derpy Bear.
Derpy Bear. I like these, dude. I like these a lot. I like that font. I like Derpy Bear. I want to say this is like an homage to some shit they wore before, like those Browns.
Yeah.
I like it, dude. I do. It's, would I wear one of these as myself? No, but if the Flyers came out with an equivalent of this, if I were a Bruins fan, I'd have a shit on pre-order right now.
Yeah, man.
I like these a lot. They're not the spoked bee. They're not the regular shit by any stretch, but I think because Boston's been in the Winter Classic, I want to say this is their third time. And
Vets.
Right? And it's been at Fenway before. They've wore some okay stuff. The first Winter Classic, I'm almost positive, was us in Fenway against Boston. But this is the best of the bunch they've wore, I think, in the Winter Classic. I like it. You've got the colors up there, the black and gold. So there's the bees there. And again, same colors, the Pens, but you're the home team, so you get the color sweater. And the more I look at Derpy Bear, the more I'm just locked in on his eyes, and his eyes are fucking staring at me. It's almost like, when you're a kid and you have a poster on the wall, and no matter what part of the room you go to, the eyes are looking at you. It's almost like that's how I feel about Derpy Bear. But what stands out to me immediately when I looked at this was the font. I like the font a lot. Very vintage.
It all comes together really nicely.
Yes.
You don't have anything like gigantic. So, I mean, what does that end up looking like on the ice?
Right.
On TV, it'll look great.
Yes.
At Fenway, how's it going to look? I don't know.
Yeah, somebody sitting on top of the monster.
Yeah.
And that's, the numbers, you got to have big numbers on the back. I'm assuming the numbers are, either based off that, I would guess, are the color of Boston outlined in gold or vice versa. And if they're large up against that black, they'll look good.
We gotta have,
look at
here. Here's another image from sportslogos.net.
Okay.
It looks like they're just taking from 4 different things here.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Boston's never had bad shit.
No, man. There we go.
Okay.
I could do with a little bit more outline, but I don't hate it.
I don't like that the shoulder things on the back don't meet. I don't like that they create a triangle. Maybe it's just the picture that masslive.com has, but I don't like that the gold or the yellow, whatever you want to call it, the number is lighter than what you have on the template of the sweater. I don't like that. It should be the same color. Aside from aesthetics, for the reasons we discussed, I think you would be able to see it a little better with it being a little darker. Although maybe not. I just think it looks incomplete to me.
Yeah. I was trying to get a better look at it from something, maybe because this is on Fanatics, so this is a little bit more legit, I guess.
And it's Boston, and they don't use multicolor yellows in their regular shit. So it's like, why? What gives here?
Yeah.
What I don't understand.
Conversely, I hate Sid the Kid, but I like how that looks.
I do too. I like that font there. It's a little jammed up, but I don't need it to be big because I can see the number. If I'm going to a game, I know what numbers the players are. I like that. I think if we're going for the purpose of being more visible, I think you make that black outline a little more bold.
Yeah.
I think you make it probably the size of those stripes. But I like it. That looks good. The font that the last name is, I'm not going to say it. It looks good. It looks good.
Do you know what station this airs on?